Bettie Page, issue number 1. That's right, folks, we're finally doing it. I've talked about this character a few times on my various social media platforms. I just like Bettie Page as a concept. It's kind of fun that we took like this pop icon from a bygone era and we've been like, what if we just like did stuff with her and she became like a character in like different forms of media? And I'm like, that's an idea. Do something with that. It's kind of fun. I do dig that idea a lot. And I've always just been like waiting for like another book to jump onto. There's been a couple of really interesting ones lately, but I do understand like how this is a character that's kind of hard to sell to a comic book audience at large because it's not typically like your Vampirella, Red Sonja, Purgatory like vibe. It's more just kind of like fun and flirty and having a cool time. It's very like a modern use of like those old school like comics that were aimed for like more teenage girls where it's just fun and flirty and loose and kind of like the nurse aesthetic, the doctor aesthetic, but just with a cool lady that's like part Betty, part Veronica, part awesome. So I dig it. I really dig this vibe and I really like this book. The artwork, who is it from? Is from Eliza Ferrare with Mara Angelilli and Tommaso Aranda. So a lot of people working on the artwork for this book. Mirka Andolfo is doing the writing, and I'm a big fan of their work, so I am here for this book. It's got a very distinctive feel, and I really like it. We're in New York City, baby, and Betty is being photographed by a famous photographer, and he's like, come on, Eddie, we gotta get you in the next outfit. We don't got all day for these pictures. Go put on that orchid pink winter coat. She's like, okay, I'll do it. And then she's walking by, she passes somebody, calls her Dottie, keeps walking by, passes somebody calling her Kitty, but she knows the names of the entire crew. And when she gets behind the closed door of her like changing room, she gets so pissed off. It's like, why is it so hard for these men to remember my name? It's Betty. Betty. It's not complicated. She also cannot find her coat, but luckily her assistant, Karen Beauregard, a 20-year-old woman who looks the same age as Betty, but that doesn't matter. It's like, hey, I have the coat for you right here. It's all fine. Everything's great. We're doing good work. Now, I know you're kind of like stressed about this shoot and you clearly want to get some pizza, but we can't get pizza because you have a contract signed, and if you try to do anything that's not in the contract, we could get a thick default penalty of $500. So we're not going to do that. But Betty's just kind of pissed off. Like, are you kidding me? I don't even have $60 to my name, and they might like sue me for $500 if I eat a slice. This sucks. Everything sucks. I need a vacation. I am so stressed, and this shoot's not as fun as I thought it would be. I'm just tired of this. Luckily, her agent, Benjamin Demet, he is 49, just so you know that. He has a new event for her to just like hop onto a plane and attend to over in Italy. It's like, it's immediate departure. First class, 5-star hotel, baby. It's the perfect place for us. We're going to do it. We'll work out. We'll get like the suits to deal with this bureaucratic nonsense to get you out of the contract for these pictures of Stan. We got to hop onto a plane and get you overseas, babe. We got to do it right now. And she's like, you're right. We do got to do that right now. Let's leave right now and like literally not worry about anything. Do you remember that time in history when you could just hop on a plane and it didn't like take any work? You could just go there in a moment's notice. Crazy. But it's great because Karen like just reminds Betty like, we just hopped on a plane and you're still wearing like the orchid pink winter coat over top of like the bathing suit you were just taking pictures for. She's like, yeah, splash of spring, splash of winter. It's perfect. It's fun. It's all great. So what is this weird like venue that she's working? We don't even know what it really is. Is it like a fashion shoot? Is it photography? What is it? Oh, it's a movie. We see that we're going to be taking our nice lady to a movie. That's right. Ben got her hooked up to a movie. What does that mean? Who knows? But there's like this famous director of Italian cinema named Eugenio Vettaloni. And he's like a wondrous director, one of the best of the best. He's looking for a new up and coming talent, some hot young thing, and it's you. And Karen's the only one that's like, she's not an actress. This is strange. Why would this guy want her in his movie? It doesn't make sense. And even Betty's like, It's a big blockbuster. I'm not really like an actress. It is kind of weird. But hey, that's what Eugene does, man. He finds the next big thing, takes them abroad, and just makes them into a work of art. Like how Michelangelo sculpted David, that kind of thing. He's like, huh, okay, well maybe Betty will be comfortable taking that chance. When they land in the airport in Rome, like the entire paparazzi starts storming, like, hey, is that the girl that's gonna be in Vettoloni's new movie? Is that her? And everyone's like, whoa, this lady's cool. Look at her wearing an orchid pink winter coat when it's clearly summertime in Rome. It's amazing. So luckily, they get ushered away by some security. They get to the movie set pretty fast. And it's just like Hollywood of Italy, baby. Here we go. It's looking fun. And it's just like that classic feeling of what you do when you're on a movie set. There's a big Sphinx nearby. We're shooting some ancient picture just around the corner. Gladiatorial combat over there. And then we see himself, Eugenio Vitelloni. He is 56. He's a famous director. And he sees this beautiful woman and realizes, that's her. You're the one I've wanted. Look at you. You're so beautiful. You're perfect for this role. Oh my goodness. That's the face I've been looking for. Amazing. We have to start shooting right now. But Ben quickly reminds them, not before we sign the contracts. So they quickly sign the contracts. They don't know how long the filming is going to take place. Betty's like, what am I playing? Who is this and what am I up to? Sure, I didn't like the fashion suit, but now you're dressing me up like a geisha. I'm going to be standing on an animatronic elephant. This is crazy. And Betty, just as like the days go on, is like, this doesn't feel normal. Like, I don't know if this is good. I can't tell if it's good or not, but it's very strange. And you see that Karen starts to get a little bit pessimistic about the situation. Like, there's some reason we were here, and I don't really get it. There's something going on about this set. The mechanical elephant knocks Betty off, okay? That's weird. The trapeze suddenly snapped when Betty's using them, and then a spotlight came unhooked and fell right on top of us, like literally at the end of the shoot. That's strange. It does sound like something is going on there. I want to find out what it is. As she says that, there's some paparazzi following her. We'll get to who I think that paparazzi is in a moment. The next day, Betty is dressed up in like a Cleopatra-looking attire, just surrounded by crocodiles. Not really sure what any of it is. She's on like a weird platform above like the pool of crocodiles. Something goes wrong. She could be bitten, but luckily they were fed, or they think they were fed. And now Benjamin's starting to be like, okay, something certainly doesn't add up about all of this. I don't really understand that. So he heads to sneak into the director's office, but Karen is already there looking through everything, trying to figure out what's going on. And they're like, hey, close the door. Like, come on. We don't want people to know what we're snooping for. What is any of this that we're doing? It's very strange. So they're both trying to find out, like, what's going on here? Something doesn't seem normal. And they find out that Eugenio took out like a lease for like a new like posh villa on the Pincian Hill. Like, okay, that's weird. Why are we in like a nice hotel if he's got like a villa? That's kind of strange. It seems like he's hiding something that he doesn't want us to see at that villa. He's a very forward guy. That's kind of strange. And then we see Karen finds a picture of what looks like Bettie Page with the eyes crossed out like she must die. Oh no, somebody on this production wants to kill Bettie Page. That is not looking good. They hear screaming outside. They burst back out of the room to find Betty getting her ankle checked out. She kind of like slipped. She wasn't killed by crocodiles or anything. She just kind of slipped. She's like, well, I'm ready to keep going if you are. Just like, hey, let's get back in the situation and try to figure this out. But they don't really trust it. Like, again, Karen and Ben don't really trust the situation. So come that evening, they take Betty to investigate this new house Vitelloni bought. So like, okay, let's see what's going on inside his new home. It's a big old building. They walk inside after climbing the fence, of course, making sure the guards don't see him. They start rummaging around, looking for everything. What's going on? Is there something secretly going on here? We don't know, but they're going to split up and look for clues, folks. That's what we're going to do. Betty stumbles into like a bedroom and finds dresses that are her size. We just see, well, everything looks a little too nice, but there's something weird about it. Finally, we see that Karen finds some like weird photos. Like, what is that? What's going on? And what she thinks is Betty coming in to talk with her. She's like, look at all this stuff I found. It's kind of strange. Like, look at these pictures. It's like you and it's like Vetteloni together. But you weren't together. You just saw him yesterday. Why are you in these photos with him? Something creepy going on here. And then as she's saying that, another door opens up, and that's actually Betty walking through. And that is when we realize that the strange woman that she is... And that's when we realize that there's this strange woman in this house that looks identical to Bettie Page. That was the one Karen was talking to earlier. And we're like, uh-oh, what does that mean? And at that very moment, the light went out. Something is happening there. We don't know. There's a woman who looks just like Betty. What does it mean? Well, if you read the solicitation for the next issue, Lisa, Betty's troublemaking Italian doppelganger, just wants to reunite with David, her missing boyfriend. Too bad her relatives are on her trail, and that those relatives are members of a powerful mafia clan. So that's kind of fun. Setting up a mystery. That's what I think. The boyfriend is the guy we saw the paparazzi that's taking the photos of Betty, trying to like set it up that she's doing something there. Or that paparazzi could be like the mafia family. I don't know. But I had fun reading this book. A cool mystery for Betty to be a part of. That's really exciting. In like a Hollywood setting, but it's not really a Hollywood setting. It's like Italian cinema, so something new to explore. We have a colorful cast of characters, all willing to investigate things in a new capacity. That's really cool. Just a solid book, you know? If you are not somebody who has read this character before, it is a nice jumping on point because it's got really cool artwork, very fun and cartoony, great colors, awesome costuming. It looks fantastic, and it's such a fun read, and it's just a little bit different from like the beaten path of what you might be reading from Dynamite lately. So that's really cool. Not to mention, these covers are extraordinary. I love them. I love that classic pinup feel. It's so fun and unique, and this book does it better than any. Like, it's such a good read, and I like it. So, Lisa and Betty, what's going to happen there? Who's to say? Two beautiful women that look alike. Could you imagine a world? So, Bettie Page, issue number 1, I am going to give a 7 out of 10. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.